Hey y'all, thank you for joining us today on the Spread the Love podcast. We are thrilled to have you here. We are going to be discussing some stimulating topics which we hope will challenge, encourage, and strengthen you. I'm John, one of your hosts. Come along with us, sit back, relax, and let's chat. Here we go. All right, so we're just going to jump right into it because we are back from our long hiatus of never meeting together to do a podcast. But let's be honest. Let's just be honest with our listeners.
Don't do it.
We did this before already.
Like a month ago.
Like a month ago. And we had enough time to probably have 3 or 4 episodes. And honestly, we were doing that because we knew, we anticipated that life was about to just be all over us. But as soon as we finished, we realized we didn't have an SD card in our system here, so we didn't have anything recorded.
I like how it was we.
It was. We. I mean, I've never put the SD card in
Me
there.
neither. So
Or taking it out.
Well, you didn't do a good job of making sure that I checked it. So
it was our best episodes yet.
Absolutely.
By far, we walked away feeling really good at the end.
Today will be horrible.
Yeah, we walked away.
Oh, she spoke that.
We walked away feeling really good at the end of that, and then just happened to realize when I hit stop on the machine there that nothing happened, and I was like, I don't think there is a SIM card there or an SD card. So here we are, back together again, 3 months later. We totally don't have any listeners left, but that's okay. The bigger picture is that we are spreading the gospel of Christ to people and sharing his love with people. But before that being said, I was just going to talk about life in general and what's been going on. April and I have had some excitement at our house, especially we bought the new house. We told everybody that last time we bought the new house. We have been praying specifically for some honeybees, and this is at the old house. We 2 years ago we built or was it a year ago?
A year ago.
Yeah, it was a year ago. We built a bee box in order to trap some honeybees because we wanted to start raising bees and have honey for ourselves. So we made this bee box and set it out last year. Without fail, we didn't
put some lemongrass.
Yeah, we did some lemongrass oil. Nothing. We had nothing. So we had it set out again this year, and I had recently went out to the bee box just to check it, and we put some more lemongrass oil in there. What else did we put some other stuff in there too, just to attract the bees. And I put my hand on it. I said, Lord, we need some bees. Well, he provided us with some bees, but it wasn't in the way that we anticipated. Dear, would you like to share the story?
Working from home, and I heard a really loud buzzing in one of the windows. It's like, something has gotten trapped in here. So I got up and looked, and I was like, that's a honeybee. So for my job, I buy little gift baskets for the customers that I work with, and wine glass was in one of them. And then I found a little stiff piece of paper, trapped it, and let it out. And then maybe 30 minutes later, there was another one trapped in there. So I managed to do the same thing and let it out. I went upstairs and heard a lot of buzzing in one of the back bedrooms. So I called John and I said, hey, I think we have bees. And I stepped out on the front porch and I didn't see anything. Well, when John came home from work.
Well, my reply was, don't.
Yeah, he was like, probably not. So when he came home from work, where he has to park, he could see the side of the house. And the bees had just found a hole and swarmed and went in there in the matter of time. When he got home and saw them swarming, let a few bees out of the upper bedroom that must have been scout bees. And then they were, within 30 minutes, if not shorter than that.
No, it was a lot shorter than that. It was a lot shorter.
They had nestled like thousands of bees into that hole in the wall is where we thought they were.
Within a matter of minutes, they were there. But let's just paint the picture here because because they need to have a good idea of what took place. Well, we're upstairs bedroom is pretty much, we've ripped up the carpets. The floors are bare. We're getting ready to lay flooring. When I get there, I see when I first get there, I think, okay, there's probably 1 or 2 bees in here. They probably just found their way in the house somehow. When I get up there, there's probably 10 to 20 bees that are dead
Definitely
on the windowsill.
more than 20, yeah.
On the windowsill, and then there are bees all in the window just flying around. I'm like, what in the world? And I was like, maybe she's right about this swarm. So maybe we do have a swarm. So with the idea of being honeybees, I was like, well, we need to get them out because I don't want any more to die here because honeybees are very valuable to everything. So I let them. I open the window. I force them all out, and realize they're coming up through a hole in the corner where the cable is coming up. So that's where our internet is wired through. So whoever did it, who previously put the internet in that room, and they were coming up through the hole there. Well, I guess that was their only way out. But when I let them out, I mean, it wasn't 5 minutes later. So I walked back outside, and there is a swarm of bees just
it was like what the
everywhere.
The locust in the Bible.
Yeah, it felt like that. It felt like that. I was like, what in the world is going? It was spectacular, really. I mean, it was amazing.
Or no, the flies with Pharaoh. I can't remember.
Locust, flies, they're all the same, right?
Yeah, it's all terrible.
It's all black. Yeah. And so our neighbor who is out on his back porch, and I've never met at that moment, I said, have you ever seen anything like this? And he looked at me like, what are you talking about? I was like, here. He's like, no, man. I was like, well, okay. And so as they're swarming there, you can see them in the corner just beginning to land in that one area. And so immediately I thought, okay, this is going to be a pain for us to be able to get these bees out. But we knew that we wanted bees and we wanted to keep them. So the long gist of the story, we had a guy come down. He got the bees out of, he thankfully didn't have to go through the wall. There's a little eave that's an offset in the house, and he was able to go up through there. And April was there the whole time. He was getting the bees out, and it was pretty cool to see that.
He found old honeycomb in there that had been in there for 4 or 5 seasons of use from bees. Not necessarily at the same time or in a continuum, but they'd had a honeybee problem before.
Yeah, so it's something that had occurred before. So that's why they say whenever you have something like that, they'll find it. Other swarms will find areas like that and take over. But we got him. He cut it out. It was as least invasive as possible. He was able to get all the bees. He poured them he had a vacuum. He poured them out and we had a nuke, and we watched the bees march into the nuke, which was pretty cool. And we got them moved over here to our house here that we're recording at, and they're in the backyard, which is pretty spectacular. The one thing we did learn: be specific in your prayers, folks.
Yeah. Yep.
If you're gonna ask the Lord for something, be specific. I mean, it all worked out in the end, and he knew.
And we got to meet a really nice guy who can extract bees and works.
And our neighbor, who has been awesome with helping us learn about bees and gave us some equipment to use with the bee. I mean, it's just been, the Lord has just really used this as a situation for us to learn. He gave us the bees, and hopefully we're in turn, meeting people that we can share the love of Christ with. But
not the neighbor who hadn't seen anything like that before, but another neighbor.
No, it was another neighbor. Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that, but here's a bee suit that I had lying around. Like, yeah, that did kind of, was like, wait a minute here.
Well, we bought a bee suit. We've been in the hive already. We've seen the queen.
Well,
she's doing
John
well.
I don't have a bee suit yet.
Well, I had the opportunity to do it. I think April was a little jealous, envious of
Super
me.
jealous.
Yeah.
So just so everybody knows, how is it working now? Because I don't know either. Like back there when you went and looked at it,
they're
does it
fine.
seem like they're working?
Yeah,
like
they're working. They've the queen has laid eggs already.
Oh,
so
wow.
they're starting.
So answer prayer.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Nectar is being
collected
and put into the hive.
Wow.
The bees seem pretty docile, which is really really good because they're really their temperament is very minimal. The guy who pulled them out of the house was stung one time.
But he was there like 8 hours.
Yeah. So he was there most of the day. So, I mean, it's just the Lord, it's all glory to God because he provided them to us. He gave us what we've asked for. It was just, we just went about it in a much different way than I imagined or anticipated. We were hoping to catch them in the box itself, but it's okay because it all worked out, and it's just been really great. So that's been one of our exciting stories. Derick, what's been going on in your life?
I work a lot. That's about it. Like, I don't really have nothing else. I work. It's been major blessings. I mean, I've had major shifts in my life lately, but I mean, dude, if I'm not at a basketball court, I'm at a baseball field.
Yeah, your kids are always playing sports.
Yeah, I'm always gone, whether it be work or whatever else. But I mean, it's been a major shift for me, thanks to y'all. I mean, my life has shifted to where, I mean, I've had incredible blessings come my way.
Yeah, well, the Lord has blessed us, and for our listeners who don't know, the Lord has blessed us, gave us an opportunity to have a house. Derick gave you the opportunity to move into our old place, so he's living here, and I
have bees now.
He has
bees,
and chickens. That's
and chickens.
Well, and we really appreciate it because it's been a help to both of us, really. So God has really allowed us to flourish in our friendship again, and also provide us with opportunities that we didn't have before. So it's really great. But with all that being said, we're going to try to jump into the topic of love, because I think when we left off with our last episode, we said that we really wanted to talk about love and how the world has portrayed love, and what the differences are in the biblical sense of love and God's love, and what the world has portrayed with love. So I wanted to start us off by asking a few questions. So I was going to start here, and this is just from our viewpoint. So one question was, what is the perception of love today in the world? So that's the question I really wanted us to jump off with. What is the perception of love today in our world? I know last time we started talking, April used an example of something she found on Instagram about what the idea of love was and what is being portrayed. But that's the question for us. What is the perception of love in the world today? Or what do you think, Derick, from just everything that's thrown at us, all the information, all the images, all the the thoughts and ideas that people have? What do you think about that?
Well, what we talked about, I guess, 3 months ago, the world's perception of love is very selfish. Yeah. It is not. That is, I guess, what I have noticed in my experience and what I've seen, just even with my job and people, even my kids. It's all about self-need. What does me best? What makes me feel good at the moment? What benefits me the most? What I shared last time is that I went into studying what the world meant for love. And when you look up love on Google or wherever else, the number one meaning for love in the world right now is lust. Yeah. It's the number one meaning for it. That tells a whole story of exactly selfishness is lust, because it's a selfish need. Yeah. Well, and it's a fleshly desire that we try to fulfill through the perception of what we think love is, or what the world wants you to think love is, because we see it on TV, we see it in commercials, we see it in the news, we see it really just it's a cascading effect of just information that is being thrown at us, but it's also it's painted with a veil of this is what love is. And there's an idea. I mean, our society has basically tried to define love for everyone. Well, I mean,
I think the world is kind of confused as far as their own standards or their own definition of love. If you look, like to Hollywood, love is a feeling, and a happy ending, and it's more driven towards your emotions. And then I think, and I can't find it, but what I had found last time was 3 months ago, Kim Ye was getting a divorce. And so I had come across a post where Kim Kardashian had said that what her life looked like at that moment was loving herself. And that meant
choosing
herself.
Yeah.
That meant
Right.
choosing herself above anything else or above everyone else.
Placing yourself first.
Just a very, and the comments on it were very mixed. Like, well, I thought that's what Kim did anyways, or well, good for you,
Right.
go for that. So, I think I don't know. To me, I feel like I get different definitions of love when you look at the world.
Yeah.
It's not just that happy feeling, but then also like self-love.
Yeah. Well, and it's insert yourself into the idea and say, hey, there's this misconception that for you to be happy or for you to have joy, that you need to first love yourself and then put yourself first in all these areas and aspects, and everything else will kind of fall into place. But that goes against the biblical sound definition of love. We know, we've defined it. God is love. Well, if he is love, he set the standard for that. He is the standard of what love is. Anything outside of him can't be defined as love if he is love, right?
Right.
I mean, I think it's so hard for us to truly wrap our mind around God's definition of love. Like Derick had mentioned before, it's selfish. And I've thought about that multiple times. Like, I was raised in a Christian home. And so sometimes you have those doubts of like, would I have chosen this had I not been introduced or like flooded with it growing up? And so like, I really kind of like sometimes search like, why do I love God? Yeah. And it comes down to that I'm a human and my selfishness is why I love God, because he loves me first.
Yeah.
But in the Bible, it's the opposite.
We love because he
says
us.
that he loves us despite of our sin, like even while we were still sinners. So God's not coming from the same source of love that we're coming from.
Yeah.
As far as being loved, so we give love.
Yeah. That instantly shows how powerful and how different he is from us, because even me, I mean, I had experience at the ball game last night where it was hard to show love because of what I was getting in return. And it almost come down to a conflict. It probably would have been if it wasn't for Jesus. It's that exactly right there. That's what makes it different, is the fact that God loves us no matter what. Us as human, we always expect something in return. We're not really taught and shown to love people no matter what.
Yeah. It's
always about what's better for me. And that's totally against what God is and what he's about. God is love. God is forgiveness. He's compassion. It's not
without
holding
conditions.
on. Without conditions. That's perfect. Without conditions. Yeah. And that is so hard to do in a fleshly manner. Like, for me, it's hard to forgive some people. But that's what love is.
Well, and the scriptures are clear. The Bible, I mean, it says that we love because he first loved us.
Absolutely.
I mean, we can't know love. You can't show pure, unadulterated love without him.
Right.
There's no way around it.
Yep.
You can't. You said something about self-help age, and I read this last time. We're in that age of like, it's all about me. I need to focus on me. I need to, do things for me. It's okay to put me first. Well, the definition that I pulled up on that was the use of one's own efforts and resources to achieve things without relying on others.
Man, I'd be broke.
Isn't that the truth?
I mean, it's the idea of this self-preservation to avoid the inevitable in life in general. But I mean, it's a selfish motive. I mean, and it goes against everything God wants for us. He wants us to be dependent on one thing. Him, and not on ourselves, because in the picture, in this big picture of things, we know that we are nothing without him. So in the sense of love, in God's in his wisdom and in his all-knowing ability, understands what we need. I mean, he's. Oh, it's so hard to explain what I'm thinking, but I mean,
Well, I think if you, I don't know if this is where you're headed, but if you kind of take it back to the very beginning, like, why did God create humans?
Yeah.
And
that's a whole podcast in itself, right there.
I mean, I think could be, I mean, I'm going to have to look this up, make sure it's biblically aligned with how I see it, but to
the
love
glorification of himself.
Yeah,
that's where it comes down to.
I mean,
and I think that's what I was trying to say.
To provide us with his goodness and to provide us with his love. Yeah. He doesn't need us at all.
No, he doesn't.
That is a whole nother podcast right there
really
to get
is.
into what truly God is about in Christianity, and it's not all about us.
Yes,
but that'd be a good.
But
podcast.
it brought to what I was trying to say. It's all for His glory. Yeah, I mean, everything is for His glory, and even in His love, it all comes back to the glorification of Him.
Yeah,
and so the idea of this self-help age where we insert ourselves into the position of priority, where we make ourselves priority above everything else, goes against everything that He is, because that takes away from Him receiving the glory. Because we say, okay, we're going to put us first. Well, what does that mean? If you have a relationship with Him, what does that mean for Him? If you're first, He can't be first.
Right.
So I think that's kind of what I was trying to express. Like, it all comes back to His glory. It all comes back to what He did for us. I mean, it's all on Him. And if we put ourselves there, then we're trying to steal glory from Him.
Which a good form of that to me is sacrifice.
Yeah.
That is a key word that, as you said, that made me think of probably the biggest thing for me with love is sacrifice. Are you willing to sacrifice everything? Because, I mean, God was for us.
Yeah.
And so that's probably something that I've learned over the last few years is that is a big word when He taught me love was sacrifice. Would I be willing to give up everything? And I use a crazy thing with the men's group. And I'm not saying God would ever ask me to do this or anything, but even with my love for the Lord and how He gave His only Son, would I be willing to give up my kids for Him? And instantly as a father, I'm like, no way. I can't do that, But the point of it was with the group was, am I willing to give up everything for Him? Am I truly willing to sacrifice? And that's what love is, and that's a tough pill to swallow sometimes.
Well, when the whole idea in this kind of off topic, but there's this. We went through it with COVID. We saw it with COVID. There's this idea of self-preservation, like we're all trying to go away from what is inevitably about to happen. I mean, we're all going to die.
Right.
There's going to be an end to our lives.
Yeah.
And so I think it ties to that too. I think there's a layer there that says, hey, I need to put me first so that way I can be happy. That way I can, do the things that I want to do. But one thing is for certain is that we're all going to die. And so the most important thing that we can do here, and that's what we're trying to do, is express, hey, there's more to life than just yourself. There's more to life than just your family. There's more to this life than what a lot of people know. Because, I mean, we live in the Bible Belt. There's a lot of people in this area that, claim to be a Christian and a Christ follower. They know Jesus, have a relationship with God. But is that the most important thing in your life to you? Is that what you're striving after? Is that who you're living for? Because if not, then that's where we need to kind of take a turn and say, okay, what's going on in your life, and what are you actually living for? Because, and I don't want to get off on tangents, but I was going to read this. Paul was in a position to where he was living for Christ, and he said that for him to live is Christ and to die is gain, which is huge. Because we saw it in COVID, people are trying everything they do did not get COVID because they didn't want to die. So afraid of death. Well, Paul was saying, man, for me, I'd rather be with Christ. I long to be with Christ over all the things in this world. He said, in Philippians 1:19 and 20, my eager expectation and hope is that I will not be ashamed about anything, but that now, as always, with all courage, Christ will be highly honored in my body, whether by life or by death. For me to live is Christ, and to die is gain. For him to live was to live out Christ and what Christ wanted him to do. but for him to die was gain. Like everything in this world meant nothing to him, but he knew that if he were to die, he was gaining so much more than what he could ever even try to acquire here on earth. Right. He wanted to be with the Lord, which is powerful because it goes against everything that we as humans try to do, because we don't, and we saw it with, and I keep saying it, but we saw it with COVID. People were wearing masks, getting shots, doing everything in their power, staying away from other people, doing everything in their power to self-preserve their own self and putting everything else aside. I think that's kind of, I mean, that right there says a lot about our society. I mean, people, not that a lot of people didn't do a lot of good things.
I mean, I think as a Christian in today's world, that's a daily decision or a daily reminder. Paul's words.
Paul said to do it. He dies daily.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was very important to him.
Because it's easy to get caught up in the rat race and forget your focus. I think it's definitely something that, at least for me, I have to continually remind myself what my focus should be.
Well, it's just such a facade to think that, hey, if I do all these things, I'm going to be okay. Well, you're not promised another breath.
Absolutely.
I mean, any of us could just go at any moment.
All ages die daily.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's no certain age. We're not promised any moment, any second.
Yeah.
I mean, it's from newborns all the way up to 100-year-old people are dying at this very moment.
Yeah.
So, but you saying all that, it made me come back to Luke and made me think about Luke, and when he said that in order to be a disciple, you have to deny yourself daily.
Yeah.
And you have to deny yourselves and pick up your cross.
Absolutely.
And that's just tying it all in, saying like in order to truly chase after God and love God, you have to turn away from worldly love. You have to.
Yeah.
You have to let yourself die and let God live. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah. And again, we're kind of went off on a tangent here with self-preservation, but I think it's important to talk about that because it does impact our viewpoint, because we stem from a selfish perspective. So most of us do that. I mean, as humans, we do that. I do it all the time, unfortunately. But I think the reason that I bring that up is to help us paint that picture to see, hey, this is why we think love is this. But now let's talk a little bit more about not only that, what other aspect of love, in quotation marks, do we push into that? It's self-preservation. It's also, like you said, lust. I mean, there's this idea of, okay, well, love is, who I can be with. Who am I going to be with? Yeah. Whether it's through marriage or through sex or through some kind of companionship, we think that we find love in that area, which it is love if it stems from the source.
Right.
Or it's a part of love if it stems from the source. It's not necessarily love. He is love, but it does have a relationship with love if it stems from him. And I wrote this down because I thought it was just thinking through this and what our conversation would be about. As people, we yearn and seek after love because it's inherently placed within us to seek after that. Everybody has a void, right?
Well, so that's what I was thinking, like a self-worth or like an acceptance. Like we're all looking for that love.
Trying to find that peace that we're missing.
And people can build their whole lives, like identity or success in business, in the wrong place.
Yeah. Well, and value. So there's that perversion that Derick talked about is where do you find value? Where do you find acceptance? Where do you find your place? Some people try to look for it in, a companion or in a job or career, and they force feed love into that same area, and they think, okay, this is what love is, but it's not. We have that desire to fill that hole. God is love, and we all have this deep pull to fill an empty void with something. Most of the time, that's love. For most people, I would say that's love. I don't have statistics or anything like that. But just in general, talking with people and knowing people are searching for something like love. I mean, they're looking for love. You see it all the time. People post about it on social media. They talk about wanting to, have a significant other or wanting to get married. I mean, it's everywhere. But as I'm going to keep going, an empty void only he was meant to fill. So it's a void that we're searching to fill through something, but it's only something that he was meant to fill. Unfortunately, we seek that out through worldly definitions of love because those things are tangible and have perceived momentary value. Talking about the value. But God goes beyond the physical and provides unmeasured value and fulfillment spiritually. It's that longing that is encrypted in all of our DNA that has been divinely placed there and that calls or pulls us to Him. And it's placed there with love in mind. Thank you for listening to the Spread the Love podcast. You can find us on Google, iTunes, Spotify, or any other major platforms. Also, help us out by giving us a rating so others can listen as well. If you'd like to keep up with our latest happenings, give us a follow on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Instagram.